folks.
Nice.
Woo!
You're live.
Hello, everybody.
We're alive.
Are you sure?
Speak for
No.
yourself.
But it's cool. Okay.
What you got?
Hey, I got a notification.
Oh, that's good.
We're live.
Ooh.
Did you know that?
I'm really happy
to
to hear
know.
that. Okay,
I
so
got one.
hello and welcome to everybody joining our paint and chat. I've got wonderful friends with me this week because it turns out we all have plenty of models to paint, and it's just nice to kind of get together and do it.
Yep.
So I'm going to pull up the thingy on my tablet so I can read your guys' comments, but I hope you guys also have stuff that you're working on. Silence your phone right before.
I can't turn it down. It is silence. I just can't turn down the media volume until it's playing media.
Yeah, I know.
So it's stupid.
My phone is actually pretty good for that. So anyway, that's kind of it. So what are we all working on tonight? And hopefully you. So anyway, yeah, I'm doing it. And
Wow. Wow. All right.
Silence your phone.
I'm so used to the taste of my own foot, unfortunately. Anyway, what are you all working on out in the chat? And what are you guys all working on here? We're going to start with DJ.
I'm just working on kill team stuff.
And what is your kill team?
How? Yes.
Fish people. Okay, well, cool. Enjoy your fish commies. And
It's a commune of fish.
a commune of fish. That's right.
For the greater good.
I'm actually gonna be working on painting some predator models.
Predator.
Super cool.
That is actually
Yeah, they
super
are.
cool.
They were just coming up at the front when
There
I
you
said
go.
that, so.
Slightly jealous. Slightly.
Those are all resin, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the cast resin. They look really good.
That was amazing.
We've got some aliens too, but we didn't bring them today.
Xenomorphs. I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, predators are aliens too.
And then, let's see here. So that's you. What are you working on, Thomas?
I'm working on Titan parts. You can see a head that's on there, but that one, the head's like pretty much done.
It's his custom built.
Yes, I have custom built Titan, and I am now painting it, painting all the parts before I glue it together.
He thinks he's so great.
What are you working on, Miranda?
Well, I put out a poll on Twitter earlier today, and I asked people, because I wasn't sure, and I have plenty of both, should I work on 40K models or Khador models tonight? And Khador won out at 55% of the vote.
Wow.
So
It was close, though.
it was kind of close, and it flopped later in the day. But it reminded me of a model I painted most of the way last year, but never quite finished. And it was actually one of the models I was painting as I was working on Tabletop Heroes, because I was all into the Orgoth history and stuff. So I've brought back out Ruin. He's not done yet. He's entirely too bright. So I'm going to finish him up tonight, and then I've got some Manowar I can continue to work on. So that's what I'm doing tonight.
Like a mostly empty bottle of Nuln oil.
Ooh, that's all right. That'll work. Speaking of War Machine, what are you working on, Dylan?
Some Menoth exemplar errants.
Nice. Mouth always had such great colors to them, as far as
Yeah, Minoth is one of the coolest looking.
they
Easily.
are. So I'm gonna check in on the chat and see what everyone else is working on. Paint-a-rama, that's right.
Atomic Topher has your problem, DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not working on anything because he keeps going back and forth on a color scheme.
There you go. You're not the only
Yep.
one who makes that ridiculous argument. Just buy more models and just paint them the different way, and then make every little unit their own color scheme, and then they can all fight among themselves. But then you need the uniformity. Oh, whatever.
Not if I just play friendly games.
There you go. Lorian, cleaning up Terminators from the newish Space Hulk game. I always think Space
Ooh.
Crusade. Nice. Ian, working on Wormwood for Circle of Boros. Nice. So he's the one with the... No, that's Cassius with the tree. So yeah, Wormwood. Okay.
Wormwood is a tree?
Yeah.
Is that
I think that's
correct?
right.
Dang
It's
it.
actually been a while. Hey, Paul. As usual, thank you to Paul for moderating the chat. And he's quite a few hours ahead of us, about 7 hours ahead of us,
It might be kind of late.
out in the land of England. And
The land of Ing.
in the land of Ing. And so I always appreciate him very much. And I actually have I have a model here that he painted that I need to show you all.
Well, and one you painted.
And one I painted, so everybody who's ever felt bad about their painting can feel quite good. Atomic Toe for not working on anything. There you go. Bill's Fish, putting the finishing touches on a scratch-built spacecraft. Hey, you're not the only one working on a scratch build here, Thomas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Although I think he should change his name to Fish Bills.
It would be easier to remember, but I feel like he's doing this on purpose. Samuel, custom-built Titan. Cool. It is really cool, actually. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
You want to tell him a little bit about your
Reverb
custom
Titan.
build?
Well, it's 3D modeled, and so I've been printing it out on a FDM 3D printer,
Well, because
and
you
then
are...
sanding it and going crazy and.
Well,
doing
he
all the
is
work.
a 3D modeler, and so he has an advantage.
I mean, yes, which is why it was
Can't just
more
go
of a
thing over
justification to buy a 3D printer, because I can print anything if I can think about it.
That's right. It's like,
If I can think of it.
we're doing great so far. Got this. That's why I always keep paper towels around. Never paint in a group without a roll of paper towels.
You can kind of see in the corner, I think.
Mandragora,
Down
I
there.
can't stay for the show, but I wanted to share. I finished some off-brand female chaos obliterators and zombicide invaders. Rick.
What is the off-brand?
Off-brand female chaos obliterators. So I'm not sure where the off-brand is from.
No, I'm asking him if he wants to throw it in chat. Let us
Yeah.
know.
Working on Morty now. Doc and Marty and Stephen Hawking are next.
Wait,
Wow.
Doc and Marty, like from
For
Back to the Future,
Well, and he's got a Rick and Morty.
which is Doc and Marty.
Right.
Basically, that's what they're taken from.
So that is all for the Zombicide game.
Definitely interested in that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I finally
Wormwood
got
is
my
the
own,
tree.
so-
Cassius is the butler.
It's the butler. Okay.
Finally got my own zombicide. I've got the Prison
Ooh,
Break.
nice.
Benjamin here, working on the 30 ogres for Age of Sigmar. Yee. 30? You just get
That's like a whole army, though.
Is it?
Yeah, like 30 has got to be just the
The
entire, army.
Okay, hopefully. Finishing up a World War II undead German force.
You got ogres. Ogren.
I have Ogren, yeah.
He's got them in your house today.
I have,
You have 3 of them.
yeah.
You just got a box of them.
Is that what I got? I have a heavy weapons team that I got in for Tashin.
Well, you got the snipers.
Yeah.
But then in the box,
The box says heavy weapons team.
those aren't the Ogren? I thought you got those.
No, I haven't got them.
Okay.
Been
Never
too
mind. I
cheap.
take that back.
Been too cheap to buy them yet.
Instead, she just has heavy weapons.
Heavy weapon. Catachan forever. I'm so excited. They got whooped the other day. But
Speaking of
that's fine.
Catachan,
Ah,
is anybody at all interested in the new Rambo movie, The Last Blood?
Last Blood. He's
Shot
gonna save
here.
his pseudo-adopted niece daughter?
I'm pretty sure it's shot here. Shot in New Mexico.
That sounds right.
At least most of it is shot.
I didn't even know about this.
Yes.
That
Oh yeah.
sounds great.
No. We've got Rambo Last Blood. We've got Top Gun 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Which
Oh yes.
looks good. I'm interested in. But yeah,
I'm
I
all
just,
on it.
Catachan.
Girlite, is there a way to scan 3D objects to 3D print? Yes.
There is, well, I mean, you can just buy scanners, and they're like hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars if you want to do that. There's also an interesting one that I really want to try out at some point. I haven't done yet, but it is called Meshroom.
I think
Is that the name of
I
it?
think that
But
sounds right.
it's where you can take your cell phone and you have to. It's best if you, well, let's see here. You keep it the zoom at the same amount, and then you go through and you just take like 60 to 100 pictures of one thing, and none of them can be blurry. It'll freak it out. But then you feed all of these images in, and it'll sit there and calculate for a lot, and then it'll give you a 3D object.
Cool.
And I don't know, what the cleanup is on it or what you got to do, but it's kind of cool because the object already comes textured as well, like mapped. So whatever it actually was, those are the colors on it as well.
Nice.
You don't have to texture it, so which in the 3D world means you don't have to paint it.
That's a lot of time for sure that you've got to be saving.
Yeah, oh yeah, it seems super interesting, and so
Just pick what you want. I'm gonna use the big brush because
I've wondered what's the Dylan would know it too, the board game, the computer board game simulator. that the name?
Tabletop Simulator?
Tabletop Simulator. Thank
Yeah.
you. But the models for that,
Yeah.
you could literally paint one of your models and then put it on like a little stick and then do that and then use your actual model, like import it into Tabletop Simulator.
Oh yeah.
I suspect is that a thing?
I'm yeah.
'Cause I've
I'm
never
almost
used it.
sure that would work.
Because that sounds kind of awesome.
That
So you
does
could play
sound
with your
amazing.
miniatures.
Do you have a nickel?
Oh, I just let it dry out. I don't have any of those.
Oh,
It's
Oh,
fine. So a long time, it was a thing you could set a nickel. You'd paint out of the lid, but you'd set a nickel on the pot because it would like not let the thing dry out. But we don't have any with us.
I forgot that was a thing, actually.
Yeah.
Kristen Abarza says, hello from Chile.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, hello. Are you working on models tonight as well, Christian?
I feel like I
What?
think my brush is downstairs,
Oh, okay.
like the big one.
Oh, yes. Paul Noxie, my bad chest cough has backed off enough. I'll be able to assemble some Shadow Spear tomorrow. Can't wait. It's awesome. I'm glad you're feeling better. Poor Paul. Got sick right on his birthday.
Oh,
It's just a little cough. It's fine. No, it's a chest infection. It's like every time my birthday happens. It's like,
Every
it's okay.
time, really.
It's okay, Paul. Well, like something happens.
Oh, okay.
But all things considered, not bad, right? So I keep trying to be encouraging. Patrick, hey everybody. I'll try to chat where I can. I've been painting some Northkin and reading the new War Machine Oblivion book.
Ooh, the
Nice.
Northkin are cool.
Yeah.
The trolls.
Mm-hmm. The alcoholic trolls of the north.
I mean,
As opposed to the other alcoholic trolls. 'Cause
Uh,
that's the lore, right?
Benjamin said, yeah, it's part of my big destruction army, and there are still 15 to 20 models which are not yet primed on the ogres.
Oh my god.
Yeet.
Figured those would be like high point cost dudes.
Scott Jones says hi. Good evening, everyone. Lorian mentions, and Lorian, you're Australian, right? You're out there, so thank you for tuning in. He said, there's a new Rambo, Bill and Ted 3, Matrix
Mhm.
4, Bad Boys 3, I saw
Oh my
announced today.
goodness, yes.
So many sequels.
Only if Will Smith's in it and Michael Bay directs it. It's the only way Bad Boys is good.
You know, I could see both of them being on board for it.
'Cause
It's
I-
like sequels are no longer tiring. They're, you know, when a joke is so when
you
it starts to get funny again.
when you just do the
so
joke long enough.
overplayed
That's
that
how.
it gets funny again.
Well, that's
Yeah, exactly.
Fast and the Furious went
Yes.
that way, where once it kind of became more self-aware, then it started becoming kind of brilliant.
It
Is that
did.
Hobbs and Shaw?
Yes,
Yeah,
which
Hobbs
is
and
pretty
Shaw
good.
is about what you expect. I certainly enjoyed it. It's just the characters, you know, like the actors figure out their characters really well, and they play them, you know, straight faced, and they're ridiculous characters, you know, like the most macho of the machos, and you know, tough guy attitudes. It's ridiculous, and it's so hilarious. I love those. I've learned to love those movies. I thought they were the stupidest things when they first came out, but here I've grown as a person.
Or they've grown as a franchise.
Or they've grown as a franchise.
which I suspect
I'm
is
not
more-
really willing to go back and watch the original or anything to check, but of sequels I'm super excited about. Maleficent 2.
Ooh.
Although, if you watch the new previews, they're like, here's the whole freaking movie, so that's annoying. But
Yeah, I don't like that
What
at all.
about Frozen 2?
Eh.
It too.
It too actually looks really good.
I'm looking
The
forward.
trailer looks really good.
Mhm.
Like, they have a really well cut trailer. I like that a lot.
You know, the It 2 trailer reminds me of why I enjoyed the Silent Hill series so much. Because there are ways to do horror, right? Where you have the slasher movie, or you have like a psychological horror. And like, It and Silent Hill, at least the games, and you know, the movie was actually pretty decent in my view, is that
I
you need
liked it.
some sort of emotional thread to keep you invested. And all of the characters from the first It movie are coming back, and you know, they're coming back to this town that's traumatized them, and there's like all of this psychological history to it. And it makes it like you understand why they're there, and you just already have a connection with the characters. I think it's really strong.
Yeah, I agree.
Rambo is fighting Mexicans. That's Mogwai Man. I mean, yes.
Mogwai man.
But that's because his niece daughter person went to Mexico, so. Kristen Barza, yes, I finished me Army of Signar. Nice.
Oh.
So that's what Kristen from Chile is working on.
Nice. Signar's the best. It's my faction.
You know, I mean, okay. Calvin Bittman, woo, company while I build some maggotkin. Ew!
Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
Is that really a thing?
It's Nurgle, isn't it?
Oh, it's horrible. Man, I really went nuts with my red on here.
Horror models. Yes.
All of the horror.
Those are my favorites.
What's that?
Horror themed models. Those are my favorite to paint.
Which is why Flo is a big Malifaux player.
Well, I haven't
Malifaux
played in
fan.
a while.
There.
Have you checked on the forums, by the way, for Valhalla? Daryl?
Mm-hmm.
Daryl is running a Through the Breach RPG campaign.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard. I haven't
Ooh.
actually read anything up on it, so I'm
Well,
curious.
Go to
He
the
posted-
ValhallaInTheFall.com website and go to the forums because he posted a ton of stuff in there.
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of
Nice.
information about like the world, the history, the guild, the rise of the guild. He has a timeline in there. I mean, if you want to know about the world of Malifaux, check out his stuff because he surprised me with how thorough he was.
And especially if you want to play in the world of Malifaux while you're at Valhalla, definitely check that out because you'll want to reach out to him, let him know.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it.
Oh, sure. Alright, so
This
touch
is like way easier than the last time I tried to paint.
Very exciting is in here. I was trying to find this stream on YouTube and I suddenly couldn't remember Miranda's YouTube name. Brian, how long have we known each other?
It's Miranda Gamer War.
It's
That one caught me off guard.
the Warcry models, the Unmade are very horror Hellraiser-esque, says Paul. Yes, the Unmade look crazy. In fact, I'll show you a picture of them because you may have seen them. And they're probably one of the coolest factions, coolest looking factions.
I
If
may
you're
have,
going to play Warcry.
well, I may have gotten Flo interested in playing. Wow, their name just left my head. The Mercenaries, the gentleman inspired.
Oh, the Cephalix.
Cephalix, thank you. But playing the Cephalix because I was showing her some models,
They're cool.
and so
Yeah, look at these creepers. So those are the Unmade.
You know, I was watching The Dark Crystal the other day, and I realized where the Arakoa from World of Warcraft
oh
came
yeah, yeah, they're the Skeksis.
It's true, it's true. See, they see them through Alley, right?
Yeah.
Rothan Fairmoon says, Wargamergirl, if I could, I'd share my new Tau Strike squad of Farsight Fire Warriors. Made one of them Tyrellian using Seraphon parts. Tyrellian.
Now they can, right? Because just share them on your Facebook.
Yeah, you could post on my Facebook if you have pictures of models you want to show. That's fine. La Blue Girl. That's not it. Full Metal Alchemist. No. Brian. Howdy and welcome. Bills. I'm still trying to find an occasion where I should wear my Wargamergirl pin. Wargamer
Anytime.
bag.
All occasions,
All occasions.
obviously.
Weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs,
Quinceaneras.
quinceañeras. Oh yeah. Atomic Topher. Oh boy, I just wish Malifaux had the 3rd edition stuff on their web store so I could buy it. Now you know about there being a 3rd edition out for Malifaux?
Yeah, I haven't looked anything up into it yet. I want to.
Yeah.
Supposedly they streamline it a lot more.
Yeah, apparently it's actually done wonders for a game. A lot of people have gotten back into playing from it.
That's really good to hear. Because the special rules could really, really, really get you bogged down and it was frustrating to say the least.
I remember the
I
opinions.
enjoy the complexity of the game, but
To an
because
extent.
what's nice about Malifaux is there's lots of meaningful decisions in any given moment, but unfortunately a lot of it requires like a very intrinsic knowledge of the game, which kind of takes the fun out of the meaningful decisions because I have to go and memorize a bunch of stuff.
Well, and then you don't have to memorize just your own. You have to memorize your opponents.
Exactly.
I don't know.
So we're
anything about
certain-
what that's like.
Yeah.
there were certain players who would do that in our area, who would be able
Right.
to memorize all of that. And they also had the money to go out and buy, like, anything they wanted. So, yeah, kind of.
Well, it's one of those where they're like, oh no, it's so easy to get in, it's so simple. You just buy like a crew and there, boom, you play. And you're like, well, kind of. Except for,
I mean, if you're playing friendly, that's great.
well, but I mean, you're talking like Magic the Gathering now, where you're like, oh, we'll buy a couple of boxes and then we'll just hang out and play whatever, you know, while you're on the plane or whatever you're doing, right? But then you go to your local meta and it's just like, oh, okay, well, let's see. I know that you have only C. Hoffman in the robot faction. And so I'll just always play the counter to that. And so you'll never win. And you're like, damn it. And then you got to go out and start buying all of the... You have to start buying all of the guild at that point because then, you know, you got to keep them guessing. And you got to... What is it? I always call them the Perditas. The Ortegas.
Oh yeah, Perdita Ortega.
You have to buy that. You have to buy... I'm
And
trying to remember the other ones because those are the two that I like the most. But then there's like... What is it?
Victoria's.
It's like a judge. And
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
judge.
Victoria's
Lady
are...
Justice.
Aren't guild though.
No,
They're...
you're
Lady
right.
Justice and the Judge. And
Yeah, Lady Justice. That's right.
Those are always really cool models. I thought they had a great look. But then I also enjoyed the Neverborn a lot.
which is why you played them.
Yes.
Well, I like all that stuff, but then it comes back around and you go, so really you don't just buy one thing to play the game. You
Yeah.
kind of have
It's
to buy
not
the whole
human.
faction.
Well, if you're gonna play the game in earnest, then yeah, you really don't get away with that.
Not
but
even in earnest, you're just going to play it at the game store. Because no matter how much you talk to those people and be like, hey, I just want to play a friendly game, they're like, yeah, that sounds great. We'll just play a friendly game.
Some,
then that's
some
not how it
people's
works.
versions of fun are different than others.
Yeah.
Really
they should really
different.
put out a rule book of what is fun and just normalize it so everybody doesn't have a choice in the matter anymore.
What is
Like,
fun
no,
in
no.
life?
What is fun in life?
Which
A
is,
guide to here's all your decisions made for you.
which, I mean, the people I'm talking about probably agree with Conan in terms of how to play fun war games.
Oh my gosh. Brian thinks we need to put something on the wall behind you.
I agree.
A painting. A painting. We need a painting.
You guys need to move that sad gesture into it.
Oh my gosh, that's so perfect.
That would be kind of awesome.
So we were down in Ruidoso, out New Mexico, which is like 2 hours south of here. Little weird pseudo artist community. Great pistachios, and I mean that's more Alamogordo, but Ruidoso is right around there. And we found like this consignment shop or something. I found this huge 3x4. I don't know how big the painting is exactly, but a huge
It's a big
like
old painting.
oil painting of this just really sad gesture.
He's like getting rained on. He's sitting on the curb.
His little hat's all sad.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know why, but this speaks to me. I wanted. So it lives in my house and creeps people out.
How much was it?
Not
I
as
think it
much
was like
as
$20. Like,
not as much as birthday girl eating porridge or whatever, which is worse than that. You guys have
Alright,
the
so my house is
weirdest
filled
art.
with. When I do get art, when I get around to getting art, I like to find just
Weird macabre stuff.
weird art. That's right.
Weird art.
Space
that's
Wolves,
art.
welcome to the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night, Bills. He's headed out.
Bye.
Why, Dawnforge Cast is in here. Hello.
Hey, hello, Andrew.
I learned something new. Blizzard gets their company name from taking the Tyranids, Space Marines, and Eldar and making them the Zerg, Terrans, and Protoss. They
Actually-
Blizzard because they so cold.
Actually, the way that Blizzard started was they were in some sort of contract with Games Workshop to make a Warhammer Fantasy game.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what the real-time strategy, like original Warcraft was. And for whatever reason, like while they were working on it, I don't actually fully know, you can probably find it on the internet, but that contract went away. Not sure what side made that happen or what the circumstances were, but they had a mostly finished game. And since Warhammer Fantasy is mostly, you know, like Tolkien-esque kind of generic fantasy, what we think of now as generic fantasy, they're like, well, let's just start writing our own lore and just use what we have. Green orcs are orcs, you know, humans are humans, like elves are elves, dwarves are dwarves, and so they just kind of kept moving forward with it. So if you like Azeroth and the World of Warcraft, you have Games Workshop to thank.
It's true.
And I do.
And you do.
I do like Azeroth very much.
Andrew, are you playing WoW Classic? Are you? Are you? Because we are way too much.
Was it this half of the table is all playing Classic?
Mhm.
Were you playing? You were talking about the queue earlier. Did you ever actually play, or were you just
No.
laughing at the
No,
queue?
he was just laughing.
at it.
Okay.
It's laughing at me mostly.
Wow.
Because I would have taken the day off, and then I'd been like, well, that's a waste.
I guess I'll go into nature or something.
If you've been playing WoW long enough, you pretty much know any launch day is gonna be.
Andrew said yes, and he hasn't been in a
Rough.
single queue.
So, all right, can anybody answer this for me? On the actual Blizzard website, they said, yeah, August 27th. That's the day that we're dropping the new game. And you're like, oh, it makes sense. They do their server reset on Tuesday. It's totally, they're going to reset. And then when it comes back up, Classic's going to be available. Cool. And they said it, that was the announcement. That was what was on the webpage. They had images out saying that. And then they just dropped it on Monday. And I looked in the forums and I was looking around. Everybody's like, yeah, it's on Monday. I'm like, but that's the 26th. And nobody said anything about all of this print material being wrong. And nobody is batting an eye. And it's weirding me out. I feel like I'm getting gaslighted over here.
It's a little frustrating.
It's just weird.
It was super weird too.
Everybody just couldn't wait. Not even one more day.
Nope.
I wouldn't have been able to. I'm like, give me my Blizzard now.
They probably did it intentionally a day apart from the reset, so that they could still reset the next day if any immediate problems arrived.
Well, it all makes sense. I agree with all that. It's just, but they
Why didn't
announced
they announce
it. Yeah, but they announced it for a different day. Why do that?
To
Nice
confuse
Reaver
you.
Titan head.
Yay.
Calvin, I tried to play Malifaux. The layer stuff that people use turned me off. Same thing with War Machine. The layers stuff? Just knowing the game at that many layers? Is that what you mean?
It is easy to get there with those kind of with heavy knowledge games. What would you say? 40K is I would call it maybe a tactics-based game where you're a certain number of things, but overall, just go get them,
Yeah.
Whereas War Machine, it's well, I see what you got over on the other side of that table.
And I'm not scared of it.
Well, it's but if I don't already know what it does, I'm just going to pick my models up now and go home because it'll do crazy stuff over there. And I just don't know. Those guys with arrows, I would think they're just a ranged unit, but I just don't know.
There's so many little bits on here I missed.
Wow.
I know. Painting with purple flowers would look nice on the wall.
Oh, just some old lady granny wallpaper.
In a frame.
In a frame.
Brian, we shot Book of Eli there.
Is Brian in?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Hey, Brian.
Hello. Brian, a.k.a. Yarp,
Yarp.
as your viewers
is it-
will soon learn.
They will soon
Only
know.
I know.
I promise this thing is being worked on. Calvin, the idea of this plus this equals I win doesn't make me happy. Yeah, and that is definitely a problem with the game. Thanks, Miranda, for the shout-outs. Brian, I love a great nerd. Well, actually. The well actuallys. What current level are people in WoW Classic? So you and I are level 26?
21.
Yeah, I'm 26. You're 26.
I have never played.
21.
Never.
I've never played.
I don't
WoW.
understand these people that are already level 60. It's fishy.
They're probably... We've agreed that they're account sharing.
Well, they're account sharing, but there was also a thing as well.
They're
Called
abusing
having
layers.
no life.
No, because even people who have no life are level 50 right now.
Right,
There was and apparently, I don't know, they call it a bug,
right.
but there was a thing where Raid. Yeah, Raid XP was not calculating correctly.
Right, and
What?
they were getting like almost full XP for like a 5-man as a raid group.
Yeah, but they're like 10 people like mobbing through a 5-man.
They were doing Scarlet Monastery.
Okay.
In a
Is what it
raid?
was. Yeah, they were doing Scarlet Monastery in a 10-man raid, and 8 of them would be mages, one would be
Yeah.
a tank, one would be a healer, and they'd run in and they'd literally pull the whole dungeon. The 8 mages would spam Blizzard until everything died, and then they'd run back out, reset, and do it again.
Well, we saw Asmon doing something similar, but they were all warriors, and they had that crazy, what was it, Whirlwind Axe? Or what's the one where it has a proc where you just start spinning?
Yeah.
And they would you'd see these like 3 warriors just spinning, and then I think maybe it was just 4 of them and just 1 healer. And they were just going in, pulling up stuff, and then like one of them would proc and start spinning, and you see another one spinning, and then since they're all plate, I guess you could kind of heal them up easy enough, but yeah.
That's funny.
So what do you play, Miranda?
Well, I play a human warrior because they're the best and they have the best jokes.
Best jokes.
And the best dance. Blizzard broke my heart when they lied about letting you change your dance in Burning Crusade. But, yes, I play a human warrior named Newt, and she's awesome.
Why would you want to change the best dance?
Because it turns
Answer
out,
that, huh?
you can't always do the best thing all the time, otherwise people get too used to that.
I see.
And so you need to add variety so they can appreciate.
Now, if you were
The
going to
mockery.
learn variety, where might one go to learn a variety of dances?
Like a school type of thing for dance, perhaps?
Like a studio, maybe?
Oh, there you go. Yes, like a studio. A dance studio, one might say.
You were lied to. Lied.
Andrew says always add 2 to 4 days to anything Blizz says about release if you want it to be working correctly. That's fair, but it actually came out the gate pretty dang good. What is the best brand color for miniatures?
Brand color?
Brand color.
Like Citadel or P3 or just like...
I assume so. If they're talking about brand color, so like Citadel makes an amazing null oil, for example, or
I've been using a lot of Citadel because he's got the complete.
You have the big,
not complete now,
big
but
box over there.
big box of it. But I always liked Vallejo.
yeah, Vallejo's been rocking it for a long time. So there you go. I use whatever is in front of me, and I'm not picky.
That's pretty
And
much what I was
generally,
going to
that's
say.
Apple Barrel or something like that.
But I mean, I'll use Citadel if it's in front of me too. I'll use Vallejo if it's in front of me. I'll use, Army Painter. I'll use...
Is the bottom of their cloak, is that a gold flourish? Typically?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that's
That's
kind of what I
what
was
that
thinking. Is between
Yeah.
like a leather, like cap or gold flourish?
No, they're all very flashy and all of that.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
I can definitely tell I was in a huge hurry when I originally painted this miniature, which I think I did do on stream. Because I'm like, all right, cool. You look at it and you're like, okay, that's painted. And then you look closer and you're like, did you look at the underside of this model?
So Miranda might have been leveling up her painting skill while on camera.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's very likely. I just learn on the job. Just go, like, no time.
I mean, isn't that what we all do?
Some
That's
more
what
focused
often-
than others.
Oftentimes end up with.
Very exciting. Was all set to start playing WoW Classic, but the show I'm on just went berserker mode. 1,800 square feet of set in 3 weeks, so I
Oh
haven't
my
had time.
god.
Wow, dude. That sounds exciting, but yeah, exhausting.
So our friend Brian works in the film industry here in Albuquerque.
And he plays an amazing pygmy troll. Speaking of which, Brian asks, how soon? How soon on the show?
3 days. Just kidding. It's not 3 days.
Oh, okay.
It was like,
What?
And I'm like, what? Really? Oh, the post. but it looks so good. My goodness. This guy's so heavy.
I know that the moment I put away this brown, I'm gonna find more brown.
Mm-hmm. That's how it works.
That's why you keep it around.
So what you're saying is if you're looking to see if you miss any brown, just go ahead and put that lid on. Then you'll find it easier.
Mm-hmm.
No, because it's not a true commitment. So
Fair.
I will have not tricked myself fully enough.
Wow. What, guys? Miranda just unlocked skill. OSL. Ha. Unlikely. Been bringing loot in preparation for Valhalla, so I'll sound less stupid when I play. Hope it goes well. Thank you, Andrew. Sure you'll have a plenty good time. Apparently everybody's gonna want to be playing RPGs anyway. We've got Through the Breach,
kinda
and
cool, I'm
D&D, and Gary, who owns the game store out there, he might run some stuff. Last year he ran like a Marvel Heroes campaign and
Star Wars.
oh, okay, there you go, Star Wars too.
He ran Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Andrew's also level 23 in WoW.
Wow. Yeah, see, that's what I feel like, is a good pace. If you like the game, you're playing it.
You should be in your early
average
20s.
amount, yeah. 20.
It's not just because that's what you're at.
No,
Uh-huh.
I don't understand.
So I'm just excited to be in early enough that I can level in zones and not get ganked horribly
Oh, yeah.
400,000 times.
I've already started seeing the ever so slight inkling of people transitioning and coming to gank. And I'm like, oh,
Everyone's
no.
still in a pretty big hurry to level, so it shouldn't be too big an issue yet, but it's a risk.
I did fight an orc warrior in Red Ridge today already.
Yeah.
It was only 7 levels above me.
Oh, there you go. See? It's not a true gank unless they really have a number advantage on you.
It's not a true gank unless their number's a skull. Unless their level is a skull to you, right?
Or if there's many of them. And
That's fair.
one of you, and then they chase you down. Like jerks. Why are we playing on a PvP server again?
PvP's all over fun.
It's fun.
Because you're playing World of Warcraft.
I know.
It's not World of Warcraft without the world.
That's true. Without the world or the war. But I agree
Or
with
the
you.
professions of crafting.
What professions?
Yeah, your crafting position.
I am an
Profession.
alchemist
there's
herbalist.
craft involved.
Right.
So I sit around rubbing 2 glasses together like this until amazing potions are made. So disappointing. Video games make everything look so easy. And you learn real chemistry and you're like, this is scary, smelly, and kind of dangerous. I just dropped my phone when Tommy said 3 days. Oh, Brian.
That was pretty
Samuel.
mean.
Samuel, I used the spinning attack with my dwarf warrior in closed melee. That was how you did it. 60 and 7 days, no account sharing. Outsider says this. 60 and 7 days, no account sharing. Raid XP 10 man. We were getting stupid XP in dungeons. They nerfed it so the last 10-ish levels required a bit of work from me. Oh my goodness. Alt Warlock at 33 actually experiencing quests and stuff.
So I've been hearing, and I agree with at this point, exploit early, exploit often.
Right. Yeah,
Apparently.
that is the Blizzard motto.
Jay, welcome. Hello everyone, sorry I'm late. I got distracted painting Althari's Guardians for Underworlds. I just got the blue ghost skin done. Nice.
Those are one of the few we don't have in our little menu of...
Band of dudes.
Yeah.
Well, Paul was messaging me the other day and said that a lot of the original models may well be discontinued. Rumor has it, so we already got them. Andrew, I've not learned any of the rules in 40k. Not a single one, but the lore, yes. You know what? That's fine.
40k is pretty easy to learn, though, frankly.
It is.
Like
That's
the
what
rules.
I've been told. I've yet to experience this.
Okay,
Have you
I've been
tried?
telling you to get like a kill team together, but you just no.
Yes, he has turned to me and said,
Right.
"Get together a kill team."
So why didn't you do it?
Yeah, so
I don't understand.
What do you need for a kill team?
Models.
That's okay. That reminds me of a story. I get a text message the other day that says, "This is my new number." From like some random number that I've never seen before in a completely different area code that I've also never seen before. I'm like, good for you, but who is this? And ... Did you get that package in the mail?
You're like, am I about to be party to a crime?
Who is this? And then it's like, Mom sent you a package 3 days ago. I was wondering if you got it. It was my dad.
Oh, Lord.
Still never once told me, hey, this is your father. I got a new number. I had to deduce it.
I'm not gonna lie, I might be inclined to do that.
Excellent.
Like, well,
It was a pretty fun experience. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like my dad.
Apparently. Miranda's fishing skill must be awesome by now. I'm at fishing 105 or maybe 110, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's about where I got
Got
today.
tricky.
I've already gone down. I swam around the coastline.
You paid the gold for it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I swam around the coastline, like dodging Horde in Booty Bay, so I can go talk to was it Hemingway? I think is his name. Nesset Hemingway.
Nessingway.
Nessingway?
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of a different dude.
He's
Not
a
the
big
dwarf
game
in
hunter.
not the dwarf in Stranglethorn Vietnam,
Okay.
but like the fishing guy in Booty Bay, and I paid the gold and bought the book. And I found a nice little fishing spot on the northern side of Kalimdor, where I've been getting firefin snappers and oily blackmouth.
That is a valuable fish. That's how you get them out.
Except, I'm just hanging on to them because I'm waiting until I'm like 38, and then they're going up in the auction house once all the raid monkeys are starting to like need potions and stuff, and they're starting to drop real gold.
Yeah, so I spent about like an hour and a half farming wool and linen cloth to make some money because, training skills is really expensive.
Yeah.
It is.
So all my current money that I've been getting for questing has been going directly to that. And so I was like, well, I want to make a little excess money. That way I can go and, buy teleport to Stormwind. So I do that. I finally get the gold in like 19 silver or whatever it costs to get the spell. And I buy it and it's like completely grayed out. It says I need a rune of teleportation.
Oh, yeah.
So I go and look for that. They're 9 silver a piece. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I thought this was a convenience that I was gonna enjoy.
This is more expensive than a Griffin ride.
Yeah.
But it's instant.
It's so
it is so convenient, it is instant.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
That sounds about right.
So I'm going to have to start buying those, or not now, but like I look forward to at 60 buying those, was it Symbol of Kings? I think it is, so that my blessings are actually greater blessings and last more than 5 minutes.
Unfortunately, I don't get the option of shouting louder. So
Yeah, you
5
do.
minutes.
It's a talent. You can shout for 1 minute louder.
I could shout for one, but that's a lot of
That's
points.
like 5 talent points or something.
Yeah, and so I was using the WoW talent calculator to figure out what I want, and I need Mortal Strike. I need it. But I also want to put some stuff down the protection tree. Do some off-tanking, help out my friends.
No, Dawnforge cast. Nate Pagel is in the... Was it not Swamp of Sorrows? The little swamps around Theramore. He's how you get the last bit to go to 300. This guy is down in Booty Bay, and you gotta buy the book from him so that you can learn more. Also flew out to fish in a Barrel Point in Arathi Highlands and ran into Stromgarde and bought the book on first aid as well. And it's also a gold, by the way. Well, if you're honored with Stormwind, it's only 90 silver. But I can make really, really good bandages now.
I'm very happy for you.
You should be. 'Cause you're the one who's going to be getting bandaged when I run out of mana.
Lurian, I've played Alliance forever, but my guild went Horde in Classics. I'm a Taran warrior, 29 at the moment.
Tauren are pretty cool.
They are pretty cool. War Stomp is obnoxious.
Oh no, I'm sorry. In Warcraft 3, Tauren are pretty cool. In World of Warcraft, they need to all die.
Such
I'm so
hostility.
sick.
Such hostility.
Between War Stomp and Kodo capping. Like,
Do we have a status update on anyone yet? Painting wise?
I've got some
What happened to my
painted
normal?
cylinder shocks, like shock absorbers, pneumatic, hydraulic pistons, so they're
Mhm.
not pneumatic,
I've almost got.
but they're just silver, so
Just boring old silver.
boring old silver. I have some more black wash on this part.
I'm about to drench this doorknob of a model into black wash.
Ooh.
Then I'll wait till you're done.
Yes.
Then
I mean,
will-
I
I can switch out models for right now and work on another one.
I also painted the missile launcher for it. And if you'll notice, this is the... So my Reaver is a Lucius pattern Reaver. So he's not... Oh, well, it's just got silver on it. It's nothing.
Yeah, but it's also like
Crazy.
in the dark where you are.
Oh, well. So, yeah. It's a Lucius pattern Reaver. So no one's ever really made those for 40K. Just for Epic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to do one that was different.
Also, I would
You wanna
totally
trade
gank
that?
all of you. Thanks, Laura. It's okay. The feeling's mutual, good sir. Video games are only easy if you have nimble fingers. I do not, but I can paint. Okay. Kill Team is where it's at for the 40K universe.
Can
Yeah,
I
which is why Flo just needs to go ahead and...
Can I have my thing back so I can paint now?
Oh my gosh, so whiny.
Everything else is drying.
Oh, let me show off Paul's model. So... How should I do
Here,
this?
just put yours on first,
All
right?
So here's my little lady from
That's the first one that you ever painted?
14 years ago, something like that. First miniature I ever painted. I went to the game store. I said, I want to learn how to paint a miniature. So the game store owner, bless his heart, sat down with me and was like, here's how you do highlights and lowlights. And, you know, what colors would you like? And I'm like, all of the colors. and
Would you say you learned a very important lesson?
it's why I have my rule. It's like in Zombieland where they have the rules. Now I have my rules. So,
Also a sequel, by the way, is coming out that's exciting.
yes, there you go, another sequel. So, my dear friend Paul decides in epic fashion to troll me with this lovely dude who he sends to me with no explanation. I'm like, what is this? He's like, well, I painted it like your first model. I'm like, no, you didn't. It looks good. So I don't know what you think you're doing, but he looks pretty cool. And you know, Primaris Marines are fun. Got a great look to them. I don't feel like they're focusing very well. I wonder if I can
It's an autofocus that's on the
I'm gonna put him in
camera.
the center. See if that gives it a little oomph. Jay
Do you
confirmed
want
the
me to turn
Shadespire
it?
stuff is out of print now. Thank goodness we were
Wait
addicted enough to
until
buy
I
them all when they
finish
came
using the
out.
screen
Same for
that I took
Nightfall.
Okay, yes.
Now for Beastgrave, which is the next one. Paul says, my first kill team was the GW box that said Deathwatch Kill Team. 5 Deathwatch guys. Works out to around 100 points. Oh my gosh, Allurian. Anyone else
How many-
make fun pun names? I called my cow Remarkable. Bull.
The best one I saw was a Tauren named David Hasselhoof.
David Hasselhoff is great. That's true. I don't ever use the puns. I do appreciate them.
My dwarf warrior is named Knucklefist.
We've got some chatting about actual painting techniques, helpful things. Space Wolves, yeah, I use deep purples and reds to highlight gold and bronze and hit it with an extreme highlight by edging.
That sounds like
Sounds
Paul's kind of
Fancy.
gold right there.
There you go. Allurian, my first D&D character, 2nd edition, was named Thacolus. Does that count? Oh, like Thaco is wacko.
I remember back in original vanilla, I was all excited when I randomly ran across a human mage
Steve.
named Zench. I was like, hey!
Andrew, what I've been liking the most has been leveling my professions along with regular levels, actually using the gear I make. Yeah, well, that's why I always liked alchemy, because potions are either usable or saleable, whereas it always seemed frustrating with blacksmithing that you had to make a bunch of garbage in order to level up.
Yeah, so I'm still running around collecting copper ore because it takes roughly 10,000 copper ore to get out of the to get out of the copper age and blacksmithing.
Am I the only one seeing the stream pause and skip? I'm checking my computer right now in paranoia.
Oh,
It
jeez.
seems smooth so far on what I'm seeing, so hopefully it's behaving itself. Everyone's still moving, and that's kind of the main thing I'm checking right now.
I don't feel like I've moved in 5 minutes.
Wow. Headphone died. Oh, poor Brian. That is a huge drink. I'm assuming you're talking to DJ.
Oh. Yeah. Can I have some of that?
Are those models from War Machine or Overwatch? Oh, in the center? Neither. That's a
Yours
Primaris
is
Marine
a-
in the center, and then that's a Reaper miniature in the middle. Personally, I'm working on War Machine miniatures, so
Well, because you took a poll today, right?
I
That
did.
everybody was supposed to participate on. And,
There were like 49 votes, so
good job.
good amount.
Good job,
of
people.
participation. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get some.
Participation. Woo.
You get an award.
All right, I'm gonna take a break from reading chat because I've got to apply a wash, which means I can't.
Have you not washed that thing yet?
I'm working on it.
Don't rush me. Ah.
That's right. Be nice.
It's working. I'm gonna get one guy painted.
You know, I found
Okay,
that's
that'd be
worked
one guy
better
more.
is just to work on. I mean, you can get base coating done to an extent. I thought I was better at the assembly line process than I was, but after doing the live stream a while, I found it much easier to just focus on one miniature and finish it. Plus, it felt so rewarding. Like, and done. Except
Right?
for the highlighting that I still have to do because I'm waiting on a wash to dry. Mostly done. You know?
That's why I can't do assembly painting very well, because it's just not rewarding.
No, it just feels like there's so much more to do.
Yeah.
Every step.
Basically, yes. So.
But the last step's gotta feel great. I just finished 9 at the same time.
Well, you're always going to hit, in my experience, even with assembly line, you're always going to hit a point in which you're still going to be taking the models one at a time to finish, to actually get the last few steps done.
Yeah, I usually assembly line until I've gotten like the base done and like a lot of the base colors, and then I'll do a secondary color, and then I just get sick of it and just start doing one at a time.
Yeah, no, that's it.
So why'd you decide to go with green?
As the starting
Okay.
color?
I'm just wondering. 'Cause Patchers aren't green.
Yeah. They have green undertones though.
Ah, okay.
They are green on the inside.
That
What
is
does it
true.
say? Like, don't question the artist. Just let me do my work.
I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know.
I'm a little salty in here, guys. It's okay. I'll play nice.
That's right. Come to Wargamergirl, where you can get painting drama. Dun dun dun.
Next time on Painting Drama.
Is that what this should be called?
That's
like
the
that's the
wrong
name of this
color.
show?
That's horrible, no.
It's like what's that?
All my circuits.
What is the choppers one? The one where they put together motorcycles. The
West Coast Chopper?
I don't know, the TV show where it's like that kid and that dude and his dad.
Oh,
They're always
yeah.
yelling
And they
at each
have, like,
other
the
and throwing
permanent,
crap and
They have the permanent memes of every single argument ever.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like throwing the chair at him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just do our version of that. So we're just mad and like paintbrushes and paint pots are flying around everywhere
Oh
and
my gosh, this sounds
just
messy.
yelling,
Oh gosh.
colorful insults.
No.
Because we're painting.
But subdued because you got to be careful while painting.
That's right. Don't want to drop somebody's miniature. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Speaking of, if our audience watches Red Letter Media at all, the Nerd Crew that just came out is pretty hilarious.
I was half asleep when I watched it, but yes.
So it wasn't that hilarious.
It's Plenty hilarious. Probably.
The bits you saw.
It's like that's the Wargamergirl blurb. It was hilarious. I fell asleep.
It was wonderful. I fell asleep. It was horrible. I fell asleep. It's really just one review for everything. Oh, so much washing. Probably got a little happy with it on the fur, so I'm gonna have to rehighlight.
There's a video game review channel on YouTube called Girlfriend Reviews Video Games.
Oh yeah?
It's pretty funny.
This girl is just angry because, like, what do you think of this game? I think that so-and-so won't stop playing it.
Yeah.
What?
That's basically how the reviews go.
Yep.
It's like you'll want to make sure he steers clear of this one, or you'll never see him again.
Huh.
It's like a new YouTube channel made called Wife Aggro. I think it'd be kind of amazing. It's like taken from it's like this almost what is it? Blair Witch style filming where he's like in the closet with like a desk lamp and he's trying to paint miniatures and you can hear his wife like calling for him like outside. It's like hiding in the closet somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, one of the ones that you want me to recognize.
So the reviews, is it like if it's a crappy game,
No.
is she like you should get this game because then you look generous and supportive of his video gaming, but you're not gonna miss him because he's gonna put this down and walk away from it quickly.
Wow.
Pretty much.
So you'll score brownie points for being supportive while secretly knowing because you watch girlfriend reviews.
Huh. I'll get back to the chat in just a moment. Almost done. Almost done.
It's so easy to make a mistake.
Oh yeah, Brian. He says he just found out Brianna works at the same school with his wife. So my daughter is.
Yeah, she was telling me that she ran into Brian's wife the other day.
Yeah.
She was pretty cool. Have you guys heard from Sam or?
Yeah, so Sam puts out videos. She actually just recently did a
Leela costume, right?
Yeah, for well, the one I watched was the armband for Leela. So yeah, she does cosplay stuff. She's
Cool.
a very talented.
So if you like
artist.
cosplay stuff, go to Glitter and Sawdust.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name,
Glitter and
right?
Sawdust. And that's it. All right, so Ruin is now wet. And now he's dark and dramatic.
So if you set him down, is he just going to shake off like a dog?
No, Ruin's not like a dog. He's just wearing one.
He's wearing a man dog.
It's a skinwalker.
Mm.
Oh, Jeremy's in the chat. Hey, Jeremy.
So I'm quite pleased to know that they retain their form. After the skinning takes place.
All right, let's catch up here. Paul, I tend to assembly line build and paint in groups of 5. Fair enough. Okay, Orange County Choppers is what you were looking for.
Ah, there you go.
Anyone else doing some work around the house, get really tired, hot, and sweaty, and realize the cooler isn't on?
Yep. Yep.
Jeremy.
How do you do it?
I always do that with the fan above my desk because at night I stay up a little late and it
Oh.
actually gets cool in the desert at night. And so I'll turn that fan off, and then I'll be sitting there in like the afternoon, like, man, it's hot. Like I'm getting sweaty. And I look up, and I'm like, what the hell? Who turned this off? And then I turn it on.
Just yell at you. You only have yourself to blame.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
It's gonna be like how I'm gonna build my first kill team member.
Talking about speed painting.
I'm gonna put a scope on this.
Jeremy's in a painting mood. I painted 25-ish minis up to the point that I realized I was missing a bunch of paints I needed.
Oh no.
Ah, that's rough. Okay, so Jay seems to agree that assembly line painting is a good way to go. Fair.
If you have the stamina for that sort of thing.
About time y'all notice. Hey, I was washing that guy who looks amazing, I think, obviously. I
He
mean,
looks dirty. You need to clean him now.
he needs a good scrubbing. So yes, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Jay was looking at the Eyes of the Nine, then realized he doesn't have any turquoise. May use blue.
Eyes of the Nine are pretty cool.
We should paint them using this patina wash. Just Eyes of the Nine patina.
Over what? Just gray primer?
Yeah.
Those ones look like fun to paint.
Yeah, they seem way up your alley. Zinchian weird. Okay, well, Ruin's gonna be drying a while. A lot of wash. There seemed like more towel than there were before on this table.
Tao will eventually take over everything.
They multiply.
Yes.
You don't want them.
That's right, if you don't look at them. Triples.
Just see a bunch of like, you know,
Jen, you made
primate
it!
Tau barbarians, and then next thing you know, 10,000 years later, they're spacefaring. Gotta keep an eye on them.
With annoying drone technology that's really easily abused in things like kill team. Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, at least I have like 20 drones that are ready.
Gosh. You can't have that many.
Speaking of drones, I saw a video last night of a guy who like took 4 box fans, like mounted them together, and put like stronger engines in them and flew it around in the air like a drone.
That's,
Kind of great.
We were,
that's kind of ridiculous, but I like flying the little tiny drones. Just flying around.
And scaring your family with them.
Well, they have some that are kind of small, but you put like goggles on, like little VR goggles or
I've
something.
seen those, yeah.
You fly them around like it's first person.
They're like racing ones.
Yeah, I really am interested in doing that. That seems
That'd be a
super
lot
interesting.
of fun.
but we saw really, really cool drone stuff yesterday.
Right.
My dad showed it to me on YouTube. It's this Chinese company. I think they're called Vim drones, like VIM. And they're drones with huge LED lights in them. And you can coordinate them to make an array of 3D designs in the air that form up in the air.
Ooh.
Like, kind of like a less violent version of Spider-Man Far From Home.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, it looks like almost like some Blade Runner stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because you could see them doing advertisements that way, and it looked really cool. Very, very cool. Brian's saying bye.
Oh,
Bye, Brian.
He has
Bye,
to be up
Brian.
at 4 in the AM.
oh my God.
Yes, have fun with that. We'll miss you.
So Brian, is this one of those sets that your friends can see? Just checking.
Jeremy, I don't really use drones in my kill team though. Well, I tried one kill team game out at Nova last year with drones, and they seemed really good because they sort of step in for specialists in a lot of ways, and so they can help give you bonuses.
I've never played any kill team, so I'm like, I'm gonna go with basically the stuff I already have painted.
Yeah, it's a
So-
good place.
I have drones. Drones painted and fire warriors painted. And battle suits, but I don't have the elites thing, so.
Space Wolves. We've got too many shakers and quakers here
Oh,
in
you
this
can
geek
count
streams today. No wonder YouTube has
That's what
trouble
I'm doing.
catching up. Is it getting choppy again? Obnoxious. I think this guy really just needs a wash. So we'll keep his fine golden or we'll keep his white cloak clean. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Brian says yes. Back at I-25. Let me know if you want to come by before 9:16. Any day by Fridays.
Ooh.
He's got
Excellent.
base
Will do.
coats.
That sounds awesome.
Are you done with that wash?
Yes. There's no good way to set this down.
I'm just gonna have to hold
wait,
it.
wait. I have a plan.
Oh gosh. There's a plan. Alright, so
Oh wow.
this is gonna be the before picture.
I'm gonna make a paint pod.
He made the round.
Excellent.
I'm not
Hey,
gonna
It works.
So that Khadorian model, I had his name in my head and then I forgot.
His name is
it.
Ruin?
No. I'm talking about the Man of War.
Oh, he's not a Kovnik. He is.
Mm-mm.
Is he a named?
Yes.
Oh.
It's not Anson, but let me see here.
Khador Man Jones.
I think I
I
do.
think that's his name.
Oh my gosh.
Let's give it a go. So I went through this crazy phase where I thought it would be a good idea to magnetize everything.
Oh, God.
The head.
The
That's an
head, the
interesting
body,
choice.
everything. I was like, I can change it up so I can have any helmet and any weapon and any legs. And that lasted like one squad. And then I was like, nope.
And tennis. I guess.
Ah.
Something that actually doesn't sound.
I typically don't magnetize anything.
Arkanovich, there we go.
But-
So, Arkanovich there, before wash. He's super bright, and all his details seem just blurry because everything's just that one gold color.
Some things I
What's that?
like have to magnetize. Like battle suits, if you don't have to magnetize, you'd have to buy so many if you ever want to switch weapons.
Well, I made an exception for my Titan here. So when I 3D modeled it, the magnets are inside the things, and it's just the weapons that stick together because that's a whole Titan. So you do want to switch his weapons, but
Well, yeah.
beyond that, I don't magnetize nothing.
Someone's laying down some advice in here.
Ooh.
Steve, here's the hack. Just do all colors one at a time, but do that with a number of models you're comfortable with first. Example, do 5 minis on green, red, gold, silver, then the blings. And I have done that, but I think I'm just super inconsistent. So, like, some days I'll go back and I'll be like, this is the way to paint. And then I just won't feel like it one day, and I'll be like, whatever, you just paint it one at a time. This is the way to paint. And so that's how I do it. Do you have a specific assembly? Do you do an assembly line method flow?
Sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
There you go.
I'll get sick of seeing the same model.
So by the way, just for the record, Flo's the only real painter here.
Real painter? Real painter?
The rest of us are kind of pseudo painters.
We are
I'm
putting
a real painter.
paint on brushes.
That's true. Dylan
I am the only
Dylan is the other.
painter
No,
here.
that's not true.
Oh, wait,
Oh
wait.
yeah.
Different type of painter.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't even know what you're doing. How's that taking so long? Where's your roller? Like, how are these guys not done?
I don't even know.
Get some Sherwin-Williams in here.
Yeah. Where's my Purdy?
Gosh, it's such
Bring
a
your
day,
Purdy, like, 2-inch brush.
such
Yeah.
a day and night difference between the filigree on a wash versus non-wash.
Oh, yeah.
It is insane.
In his name?
Insane. I don't know why I'm talking that way. Just
That's
not
because you
had
can't.
much
That's
sleep.
weird.
Not much sleep this week.
Uh,
Paul,
That's
yeah, and
because you're
Kill
spending
Team.
all your time playing WoW.
Only my free
Just
time,
recently.
which actually isn't very much anyway. I'm only level 26. Can't hashtag no life this one. Paul says, yeah, in Kill Team, if you play Tau, the drones take hits for everyone, so if your opponent has a ton of them, it can be super annoying. So, there you go. Jeremy says, your Heavy Jack is looking good. Ruin is looking pretty good. He's ready to thwap people on the head and take their souls and attack again. JW, the myth of a fun game at the game store. That's why I use my guest bedroom as a game room. I get to pick who I played with, which is sadly the wife and son these days. And Jen's all,
Right.
hey!
As long as they're willing to play, you know? There are plenty of gamers who can't even have them play.
The trick is
Well-
to let them win the first few games.
See, wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
Hey. Now I get to have fun.
Yeah, basically.
What are you talking about? You, destroy me in a number of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he knows that you already play, so he's not selling you on nothing.
It's true.
I don't know. I distinctly remember you winning all those first few games we played.
Of,
Everything.
yes. I can see how specific you are with that. You totally remember that.
Yeah. Splendor.
Well, I mean, I beat everybody at Splendor. That doesn't count.
Yeah, that's true. I have not won a game of Splendor against Flo.
She cheats.
No, I don't.
She does math.
That is distinctly cheating in Splendor.
Hey,
Huh.
it is in the casino.
I just am very
She's counting
adept.
chips.
Only if you get.
Stop her.
Wow. Have I played Splendor?
And it's like a gym trading, or it's like
Yeah,
a gym
you-
collecting sort of game.
You have sort of a character, and they have to build up a certain amount of.
You are your character.
Yeah, you are your character and you're building influence with nobles
Yeah.
by opening up gem mines and such. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Khador and Man of War blackwashing is a little different.
I knew I was gonna have fun painting.
He just knew it.
What is even happening over there?
What are you pulling out?
Nothing.
What are you putting away?
Nothing.
Faster, faster. It looks like a paint sweatshop. Yes.
This is great. So,
I'm sitting in queue. Yeah, Steve
I am
says
here
that
by own
Miranda
free
is sitting
will.
in queue right now and have been for an hour.
do I need to log in right now? Will that hurt the
Prob-
stream?
Probably. Yeah, I don't think so. It's like very low stress.
Oh, why is my server so full?
Well, good news is, like I was telling Tommy, they're offering free server transfers for full servers specifically. So, maybe a little less. Just a little less. That's all I
Yeah,
ask.
but I'd have to convince the entire guild to go. Because the only reason I chose that server was so I could hang out with my.
No. I'm not saying that we leave.
Oh, I see.
I'm saying that
Just
other
waiting
people.
for everyone else to leave.
Yeah.
Those people.
No, he's
Oh.
saying he'll hold the door while other people leave.
No, I need to stay on this server because all my friends decided they were really cool in my horde. So I need to
So we need to kill them.
prove a point. Yeah.
Oh.
Wait a minute, are they Horde on this server?
Yes.
What? Who's Horde?
Oh.
Ron and Joey and
Yes.
Slimpy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm all in. I'm
There's-
all in on this.
There's quite a few of my friends. Danny.
And so they knew what server you're on, so they chose it, or was it just like happened
It was
to be?
just happenstance.
Really? But it was
Yeah.
the same server?
Yeah.
Oh wow, how weird.
This is gonna be so great.
Oh, this. All right, that sounds.
I went
that
over
sounds
to his
like
house the other day and he was like, "Well, I'm gonna be sitting out here at Wailing Caverns for the next 2 to 3 hours." Just saying. So
So good, because
yeah.
we're going to Shadowfang Keep, so you can have fun out there at Wailing Caverns.
Well, he was trying to bait me into coming in and attacking him.
Wait, at Wailing Caverns?
Yeah.
That's a horde zone. You
I
can't
know.
attack them.
I know. Oh, wait, you can't?
No,
It won't
it's
let
like in
you?
Westfall.
Oh.
And so, like, you can stand there until they call their friends and then flag and jump on you.
I see.
Yeah, it's why, like, whenever I hear Horde crying about, like, crossroads, it's like, whatever, just don't flag and it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, in Red Ridge, like,
Or level
board
60s.
hoarder coming down from like burning steps in their 50s and just one-shotting everyone.
It's definitely rough. Are you talking about that terrible video game? Wow. Jeremy, you need to get over whatever hurtful thing this game did to you. It's a wonderful
Is there a
experience.
story?
I don't know. He just seems really angry about it every time it comes up.
It's looking good.
To show me on the doll where they ganked you.
Yeah, exactly. Miranda just finished a ruin. Awesome. Not quite. He needs highlights. He needs to... Like, the wash is almost done, but it's not quite done. Whew.
He's
Oh my
just a
gosh,
little
there's
shiny
so many.
though. In a couple of spots.
A lot of coloring advice in here. Ooh. Painting switch up. Oh, please tell us who your favorite Primarch is. I kind of like Gilman. He seems like a really good guy. What? I know.
That is the unpopular opinion, Miranda. But they're your ally, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because this Titan is a Legio Presagius Titan.
Mm-hmm. So Ultramarines are gonna be with it all the way.
By the way, for the record, this is Miranda's Titan that's getting made right now, and not mine, because I play orcs.
Hint, hint. Something will be fighting this thing.
So orcs don't really have... They have like Lords of War, but they're just Stompas. And so I was going to make like I guess just a regular Gargant. But I was going to basically take the rules for the Orc Stompa and then the Orc like Mech Boy Custom Stompa and just like make them into one data sheet and then just make a larger model that represents all of the weapons. And so he's going to have guns all over him.
Garbage graphics. Whatever, Jeremy. It's called art style. Let me see here. Paul. Oh, Vermintide update. The current set of Weaves will end on Halloween.
Yeah.
And then before the end of the year, Weaves Season 2 begins. Different levels, same effects, major changes to make it more fun / better.
They're improving the matchmaking for it, which is great because they really messed it up with this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Basically, what they did is they took what is already kind of like not the biggest player base ever, and they're like, well, here's 120 new maps that are in like sequential order. And you need to complete them in sequential order. So if you are on number 20 and your friend's on number 30, well, you're not exactly really going to want to group together.
Oh my god, you're being literal. There's 120 maps?
Yes.
Huh.
Wow, I thought that was hyperbole.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
More than I expected.
Yeah, it is 120.
Sounds like oh my god.
Yeah, and so, it's just, I don't know. So they're improving the matchmaking for it so that you'll be able to do like more quick play.
All right,
Sort
new
of.
dude. Well, that'll be good because
There's also going to be a cosmetic spender.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so you'll be able to, I guess, find some way to get cosmetic items, which are usually ultra rare, a little easier.
Interesting. Ferris Manus is the best Primarch, says Jeremy. Alarian Mega Death Zap Crush Stompa. Bless you, Miranda. Thank you. Gotta run, everyone. Have a good night. Good night, Steve. Thanks for hanging out, man. Okay,
Good night.
Miranda, you've got Ruin. Where's Butcher? The Bruticus. I don't play with Butcher.
Who does Ruin really belong to?
He belongs to Zerkova. And while she is hardly a decent soul, she is still better and less emo than the Butcher. I just can't stand this, but my feelings, so I just kill everything I see, because my feelings, I just can't stand the Butcher. He's the worst. He's the worst, most boring character in all of the Iron Kingdoms.
Feeling pretty strongly about that.
I do. I went out of my way to read his novella, already not liking him, and then coming out of it and going, well,
Still like him.
That's why you're bad? Really? That's the reason? I felt like
Is he just not going to do hamster style anymore?
I felt like Rocket Raccoon. Like, we all lost people. What do you want? You know? But anyway.
Yeah, but you don't understand. He lost people.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're right. That's exactly the story. And it's like he's just sort of a big bully of a guy who's not very smart, and he gets taken advantage of easily, and he continues to get taken advantage of easily. He's kind of flat, you know? There's not really an arc here. That's right, Jeremy just said, she will never have a butcher, makes me sad. It's okay. Ruin, who was procured by Zerkova for, you know, just so you know, has no business belonging to Butcher. That was such a weird gimme. Like, obviously he would be Zerkova's Jack. Anyway. Paul says they tweeted the other day, someone hit weave 160. So I guess they added more.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yikes.
They're really, really hard. I got to weave 20, and it's just
So hard.
boss after boss after boss after special spawn. And it's crazy.
I have to get
Game's
this
hard.
DLC. It sounds fun.
It is. It's really good. And plus,
Like,
it
the
has
way you guys
characters
are
in it.
talking about it just reminds me of, oh god, what's the word for them? The retail Warcraft dungeons where you just keep going higher and higher in your level.
Oh, the
Mythic
Mythic Plus.
It basically
oh
is
god.
that, but there's no timer on these.
Oh, there's that at least.
But the thing is with Vermintide, the
There's
timer is
kinda
your
always a
limited
timer.
resources.
Yeah, because if you wait too long, there's always going to be more models more mobs coming after you.
Yeah.
So my goodness. Scott, tell us how you really feel about the Butcher.
It behooves you to move quickly.
Jin, heresy. She's a demon. Purge the heretic. Sticking with my love of Saint Celestine. The Primarchs are, it's fair. Still a big Mortarion fan, says Paul. Well, I don't think, well, you like painting Space Marines. So, do you have a favorite Primarch?
Sanguinius.
Okay. Let's see that.
He's dead.
I mean, he gave it his all.
He did. He was a hero.
He's not dead. Everyone knows. They're gonna bring them all back.
He's not dead.
I love
Elvis never died.
I love the GW sculpt of Rowboat Girly Man compared to the Forge World one. But I also painted my housemates Mortarion, both the new one and the Forge World one. Wow, that's awesome. Sorry.
So, when I actually did play Space Marines, I played Crimson Fists. And so I guess Pedro Cantor is kind of, even though he's not really a Primarch,
Okay, I can see that.
I liked him.
I've just always hated the Ultramarines.
Everyone does.
Their insignia is like a toilet seat. Literally.
It's an ohm.
Or, yeah,
What do you think?
Girly Man, a very nice model, admittedly. Wow.
Is the inside of his glove leather or gold?
Did you just ask what the inside of his glove is?
Yeah, I mean, I would guess leather.
That sounds like a lot of detail.
sounds like you're
Next you're
overthinking
going to ask
it.
me what color his underwear band is.
Do I write Hanes or Fruit of the Loom?
And no, definitely Fruit of the Loom.
Neither is Calvin Klein.
Fruit of the sheaf.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Alarian agreed. It wasn't about that Bobby G when he first came out. Then I bought him and painted him, and I'm in love. That Forge World model is boring, like really boring. They leaned way too heavy on the Greek lore. I had a hard time picturing the Emperor's sword as a teeny weeny little gladius. I guess I would have trouble with that too. Man, I feel like I made so much progress tonight. This guy's really far behind. He's just got like one base coat of red.
Done. He's great.
He has a teeny weeny little gladius.
Oh, you know who else does?
We'll show you this Gladius. The Rager.
Yes.
I know, he's so cute. I love my little Rager. Although people like the other one more. The Charger, whatever he is.
Oh, the Mad Dog?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I love him more? Is this because he's cheap?
I imagine it's because you can spam them. There's probably a spam list for it. But Warjacks are one of those things that I don't actually like collecting oodles of. Minor exception being Juggernauts, because Juggernauts are amazing.
Which you could spam.
Which you can spam. They're so good.
Are they still spammable with Harkovich? Like, does he still kind of
I
get a bunch of Juggernauts moving around?
I think so. I'd have to see what they did with his field ability. But with everybody getting power up now, honestly, it should be easier. I would think. I chose to paint my guys as Blood Angels as the only chapter I did while playing the Space Hulk video game back in the day, says Paul. He has an honorable spot next to the kids' school photos in the cabinet. Well, alright then. Somebody said Bobby Jean's daddy, Mortarion. How about, can we say Magnus the Red? Bomb, bomb, bam. No. Magnus. I guess, like, he didn't have to be a traitor, but he got his feelings hurt. The Butcher yelled at him. Because he's the one who blew off the psychic barriers at the Emperor's, on Terra, right? On Holy Terra.
He's the one who turned his music too loud.
Yeah, exactly. He turned it up to 11 and blew out the speakers. And
I was trying to warn him.
he was trying. He only had the best intentions.
And so what, when things went south and he's like, fine, I'll be evil then.
Basically,
Is
yes.
that literally his story?
So.
All right. That sounds like a very
Um.
passive betrayal.
It's like, Daddy yelled at me. I'm going to join Horus.
Well, yeah, it's like he tried to stop the intervention of Horus's corruption, or he tried to intervene.
Fine, I'll just join chaos and consume the universe.
Basically, yes.
Fine.
So I'm sorry, I'm just not really that impressed with old Magnus.
They're basically just teenagers rebelling.
Well,
Except
Well, that's what they always are. Like, for me, the 40k lore is most interesting when it's not dealing with, like, the soap opera, like, actors.
see, I'd love it though to see it acted out just like the Futurama All My Circuits. Like, I'd watch that.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
But I think it's exactly the same maturity level on that. And I'm sure there's some great stories in the Black Library. No doubt. But some of these major ones?
This is like really tiny.
Yeah. Well, I gotta get back on the road to my mom, so I'll be offline for about an hour. Maybe you'll still be on. We've got about 30 minutes left, Jeremy, but I appreciate you hopping in. Definitely, drive safe and all of those things. Don't text and drive. Oh my gosh, I just learned today, apparently, and I don't know if anybody in the chat lives in, like, the Phoenix area, but apparently one of the freeways out in Phoenix has some sort of system in place to detect if you have been texting, or if there's like a text message that gets sent from your phone and has a loudspeaker on it that when you're driving under it, it yells at you to get off your phone.
What if it's a passenger?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's the big question.
Of like, who's on the phone? Yeah, it does not know.
that would be so
Just
annoying.
yells at so much traffic. It's like, I hope it's in a statue of some old dude just yelling at you.
Like, it's just Dennis Nedry. Like, it's on your phone. Nuh-uh-uh. Not while you're driving.
Well, that would be weird, but
That'd be kind of cool.
apparently it freaks a lot of people out because they suddenly just get like shouted at while they're driving, and
Does it cause any wreck shots?
I probably.
Like, it has to have, right?
I know, right? I wish they would show me more peace behind the scenes. I feel like the galaxy isn't worth saving if there aren't regular people to save.
Yeah.
Exactly, Lorraine, and actually that's one of the strengths of the Iron Kingdoms, as it happens. It's like, how about a world that you don't hate? Where there is...
That's the crapsack world trope.
yes. So this, yeah. I feel ya, but I think they worry that, you know, they're not cool if they're not writing about war all the time. So there's probably some pressure on it.
It's so civil about war anyway.
Indeed. So, but I mean, so what would be other stories, right? Because there's still going to be the conflict. Something's threatening maybe your homeland. The actual like lore in 40K between the hive worlds, which sound like toxic waste dumps.
They don't tell you about the pleasure planets, though.
I've yet to hear about stories written of the pleasure, but I'm sure there's some fanfic out there, no doubt. But, no, I just know of them, and, you know, those aren't really quite what I want to read about either, so. Just saying. In the grim darkness of the far future, there are no civilians. Yes, exactly. Oh, Jeremy says he doesn't have internet or the ability to text out there. I thought the roads in Phoenix area had melted, only because I live south of Tucson. Okay. 50 Shades of Pleasure Planet. Asdrubal Vecht has his many contracted concubines. Annie has many. Oh, and as many. Yeah. Space Wolves. Did somebody say Futurama? Hot damn, that's my favorite show in the world. It's so good. Such a shame that it went away.
And then came back and then went away again.
And then went away again. Alas. But yes, all my circuits, I would absolutely watch that rendition of the 40K history. Dang fancy banner. I want so much gold. Khador is so gaudy. And then their sisters, which are also quite gaudy. Huh. Is it me?
Yes.
Well, Catachan aren't. They're cool. Just like Rambo, whatever number this is going to be cool.
Oh, it's easy to remember. It's the last one.
It's the last, okay, the last
It's
Rambo.
the Last Blood, which is literally the title. Which, for the record, First Blood is a very good movie.
And for the record, we're totally going to still see Last Blood.
Yep.
That's sometime next year. Maleficent 2. So excited, love it. Downton Abbey. I'm very excited.
Rand is going to go see Rambo and Downton Abbey.
Yeah, I would double feature that. But it's okay to have diverse tastes, guys.
So I want to talk about the Dark Crystal show, but I haven't seen it yet. And so I don't want to talk about it, but I do.
I was hoping you guys would have watched it so I could actually talk to you about it.
No,
I figured you
Not
would have.
yet.
How are you going to drop Dark Crystal and Warcraft in the same damn week? Doesn't even seem fair.
Well, technically, not everybody actually cares about World of Warcraft.
Everybody does. At its height, it had a population higher than some countries.
Want to buy Telenova Warhammer 40K. Fun fact, in First Blood, Rambo never actually killed anyone. One death that occurred was an accident by the person themselves. And Samuel agrees that First Blood was a good movie.
I see gunmetal. Aha.
It looked like you were looking right at it. And you're just like, can you pass it to me?
I was looking at Tommy's gunmetal.
Oh yeah, because I have some over here too.
Yep.
It's a useful color. Keep multiples of them around. Oh my gosh, there's so much to see.
Also, if you look at the deleted scene, Rambo had a mustache in Vietnam.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that happened.
Huh. Well, I can still mostly respect the guy. I don't understand. How are beards so amazing and mustaches so awful? Yeah, there's a lot. A lot. There's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Well, you're just being so particular. You're like, oh, it needs to look good. There's miniature, put miniature.
Wait a
quotes.
minute.
You bigature.
Bigotry, you put like 200
Brown,
hours
brown
into
now,
it.
or what?
I missed a whole spot.
That's how it
I
goes.
turned him upside down.
Gotta remember to look up the skirt. Otherwise, you don't know what you're missing.
That's how I found out he was wearing Fruit of the Loom. Or what was it, Tommy?
Fruit of the sheaf.
Fruit of the Sheaf.
So, is that it? Like, you just looked up his dress and you couldn't see?
Fruit of the Sheaf.
Oh, I'm sorry. Also, fun fact, when dealing with a bunch of like little filigree stuff, this is where thinning paints can actually be really useful. It helps with coverage because
Yep.
it can be a pain to get all of the details. This guy has so much filigree, like it must have taken him years to get his armor assigned to him. There's no other way. Gosh. This is gonna look really pretty when it's done though. Anybody else have anything kind of sorted in? Worth looking at? Worth showing off on the turntable?
Let me
I
finish
do.
some line work.
Thanks, Paul. Y'all have a nice day. Thanks, Benjamin. Appreciate you hanging out. WoW used to be so popular around Central Florida when we were installing multiple modems. That we were installing multiple modems in homes to support several family members.
Oh, nice.
Wow. That is something.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that does sound kind of fun. How are you guys doing out there in internet land? You making any progress on your dudes? Whatever those models may be. We're sort of getting progress here, I think. Can't tell for sure.
I mean, it's progress, but I can't say that I'm, getting close to done.
I almost got a whole guy.
That's something.
I mean, he was already partially done. I guess just the red one on him was done. That was it. Just the red on the cloak.
Probably about as far as they need to be in order to just start filming them.
You did a white primer in the red cloak.
Well, it's enough that you can identify it pretty readily.
Is he looking from far away?
Ooh, he's looking good.
Yeah.
Okay, just don't get any closer.
That's fine.
Yeah,
It's called tabletop quality.
quality, exactly. Paul says, I'll go see the new Rambo. Think Joker's the only other movie I'm looking forward to.
Ooh, yes.
Joker does.
Joker comes
Actually,
out the day before Valhalla.
The weekend,
So
yeah. It comes out Friday,
We'll all
well,
be
Sunday.
possibly watching it in Salt Lake.
Yes, we probably will. Because I don't want to wait a whole week after that. Miranda, yes, almost finished 2 more Escher. Then it's to the last 3 of my 10-girl gang. I've been dragging my feet a little. As long as you're still going forward, even if you drag your feet, you'll still hit the point where you're done. So,
Or you're sick of it, one or the other.
But then you can always come back to it, and then eventually we're done. But, we support you. We support you.
We're ready to believe you.
There's so many. I was just glad I could find Ruin today. I wasn't entirely sure where he was before I started the stream. I'm like, oh, in my case. Oh, I suppose makes sense.
I suppose.
I don't know that I've ever played with him though.
I mean,
It's really
With who?
cool. Ruin.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. DJ, have fun. I mean, he's not done by any means, but
Every little spot filigree on here, my goodness.
You keep saying this word. I don't know what this word means.
So much.
I've heard the word filigree no less than 50 times.
It's the fancy squiggly
Yeah, it's like
scroll work on
Inlaid
things.
detail type stuff.
That stuff right there. Filigree.
Oh,
Filigree.
fancy.
All this stuff on his
Well,
armor.
Fancy
Okay.
inlaid
Actually
scroll work. I see it.
Yes. I thought you were just giving me grief.
No, I really
I
didn't.
have
No.
one.
That Joker actually looks good. About time DC did a proper grim and real looking hero.
So Batman universe is the only thing they can do.
Well, he's from Australia, so everything's backwards over there. So they don't know what words mean.
Yeah. But wasn't the last good Joker also from Australia?
True.
Yeah, I guess so. Interesting.
I mean, to be fair, like Jared Leto, I like him in some things, but he was just a palate cleanser. Like you just throw him in there because no one was gonna follow up, like the Dark Knight Joker.
True.
And so you're just like, just get someone in there so that can have been done, and then we can start seriously looking
Get
again.
back to work.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's basically exactly what happened with
I mean,
that.
yeah, he apparently took that opportunity to be as big a weirdo as possible on set as well. So
That's
it's like
unfortunate.
win-win for him, I think.
The Joker does look legitimately very interesting. My mom was super interested in it too.
Does look interesting.
We're not
Yes, your
backwards,
mom.
we're upside down. Fine.
Yeah, but your toilet's flush backwards.
It's true. They don't flush upside down.
That'd be disgusting.
Just throws it back out at you.
Oh god. In Australia, you really don't know what to expect. Do any of you guys paint with your elbows on the table so the model is eye level? No, I like to lord over it. Kind of breathe heavy on it while I like keep my nose
Like to-
kind of angled over.
like
I
to
don't
lean
pay
over it so that
attention
my
to how
back
I
is
sit
sore when
while
I'm done.
painting. I just kind of am.
That's probably the correct
So
way of doing it.
maybe?
Is elbows on the table.
I don't know what
Probably.
I get.
I feel like I have my
control.
wrists on the table and then have my face like right next to it.
Yeah, I agree. I have my
That's
forearms
how I do it.
on the table, and then I just lean over it.
I think I put my wrists and forearms on.
Lorian, our toilets also have a lower water line than ones in the U.S. That was weird when I visited the U.S. Oh, I bet. Jen, I never saw the Jared Leto version. I heard so much bad about it. I didn't think it was worth it.
It's not.
It's just a weird movie. It almost feels more like a fan film than a full-fledged movie in the Batman universe. But
Alright,
that's just my opinion.
now what happens with him? He goes here,
He goes on the table and you pick
Boom.
up the next guy.
but he needs to be washed or something, right?
Probably some degree of black wash.
Yeah, that's a lot of miniatures we've got going on here.
One down.
But everything in the
A
ring
million
is
to go.
actually like blurry, and only the things in the center are.
Is that true?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
We need to stick him in the center then.
Boom.
Just put in there. There you go. Jen, exactly. Progress is slow, but it's progress. Although it's crazy, the natural light was worse than the evening yellow light. I don't get it. That's just a matter of what you're used to. We keep pretty bright lights on whenever we're doing painting or filming or
We call them
any
the
production.
autopsy lights.
Crasp.
True, but they're not autopsy lights anymore.
Yeah,
That's a
now we
fancy
have a-
studio setup.
Yeah, I built a softbox.
Chronic Toast, hey man.
I should
Looking
probably pick up
cool.
another sword.
Yeah, so many. So many. Paul, I've never walked out of a movie in my life. I was extremely close to walking out of Suicide Squad.
The last movie I almost walked out of was the Peter Jackson King Kong movie.
Well, only because we didn't know when it was going to end.
Yeah, I was just like,
It was like 2.5 hours in, we're like,
and it was
there's
boring.
another leg of this story? Oh my gosh. It was painful.
Once it got to King Kong on ice, I think I was just like, all right, I'm done. Because he's like ice skating on the pond. I don't know. There's some sequence like that, and I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I mean,
And I'll
you
watch
were like,
anything.
what was going on for the whole movie?
No, there's parts of it that I actually thought were interesting and kind of cool, like Jack Black's character, like going to explore and all that stuff. Like, I was on board. Then I was less on board. Then I was even less on board.
Then you were like, yeah.
And then 8 hours later, I was still watching the damn movie.
It was rough. It was a lot. It was a whole lot.
But yeah, Suicide Squad was just... Like, the very premise of it was kind of silly when you really think about it. And so, like...
Well,
idea
Jenny
of-
Nichols did a great, like, pitch.
Yeah, Jenny Nichols does the
It
best.
kind of
like-
covers the questions you sort of have when you're watching the movie. You're like, but what about this? Well, what about this option? So
That
why are they
having
doing
been
this?
said, I loved the witch character, though. She was super
She looked
well
amazing.
done.
She was super well cast.
Well, yeah, well cast, well acted. Like, I liked that.
I
And I was-
fell asleep during that movie.
And I'm trying to remember the fire guy. What the hell's his name? But I thought he was going to be the one to throw down at the end to fight the other god, like the
Oh,
lady's
yeah.
brother. I thought it was just going to be, and I know they did, but it's like I thought he was going to be like their big heavy hitter, and it's just like, no, they just fought a little bit, but then they kicked him aside and moved on. It's like, but he's the devil. Like, he's supposed to be actually this crazy powerful thing. Like, they're kind of matched up. But that wasn't really the point of the movie. And yeah.
12 Neef, hey, thanks for popping by, man. Good to see you. Johnny Kapow says I walked out of Phantom Menace.
Ooh.
Wow. You were.
Phantom Menace, huh? That's hardcore.
It is hardcore.
Because I agree, it's a bad movie, but man, I didn't walk out of that even.
No, I remember the stages of grief during that movie.
The Star Wars stages of grief.
Maybe if I just see it again, I'll like it. Maybe I'm missing something. And then you just decide you love Star Wars unconditionally, which turns out I don't. So I'm like, well, but I've always felt that way in fandoms. I'm like, no, I like it until I don't like it, and if I don't like,
But you like it till it's not good?
yeah, I mean, I've felt that way plenty with musicians. I'm like, no, these albums are great. This album, I don't really like it. No, I'm not gonna buy it just because I happen to be a fan of you, because I don't like that music. Sorry. Chronic Toast. Worst movie I've ever seen in theaters was Cry Wolf. What is that one?
I don't know what that is.
Within 15 minutes, the whole theater was debating what would happen next and how it would play out. They were correct. It's a terrible film. World War Z. Stupid movie, poorly acted. Walked out. Wanted money refunded.
Wow.
I like World War Z.
I disagree with that thoroughly. Now, I understand if you like the
book.
series. Yeah,
Oh,
like the
some
book,
book.
like the little
the
series
book.
of shorts in it. I understand if it's like, it's not the same and you're like, well, I was lied to. I completely feel you there.
I
But as
didn't
far as just
expect
being
it
a
to be the
movie, I
same.
thought it was alright.
Basically.
Because the book was amazing, but there was no way they were going to make,
What they did in the...
yeah.
But I Am Legend seemed to have a very similar issue.
No, I Am Legend
I Am
has the
Legend-
same issue as that. What is that? With Hermione, the tech company.
Oh, the
one.
circle.
Yeah, it was the same thing where they were like, no, this was a popular thing, but I'm not going to commit to that ending. And so then they just make a different ending, and then you're like, well, that's kind of the point of the story.
Yeah.
And so they did that with I Am Legend. Because overall, I even kind of liked I Am Legend, and it kind of came around to the end of it, and you're just like, oh.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And now, to be fair, I saw the movie before I was very familiar with the story it was based on, and so there's, you know what I mean? So I kind of went in a little more neutral, without an
Same.
opinion
Yeah.
on it. But then when it got to the end, it's like, okay. And then I found out what it really was, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, no wonder like a lot of people are upset at that.
Bug flew into my water. King Kong was so long as it had about 800 scenes filmed in super slow-mo.
I know.
Johnny Kapow, Suicide Squad, a team with superpowers, and Harley Quinn, a Hot Topic patron with a baseball bat.
Yep.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And a man who could throw boomerangs.
And talk about wasted talent, because Margot Robbie's awesome.
Well, yeah, she's done like an amazing Harley Quinn, right? And then you're like, oh man, why couldn't that have been with the amazing Joker? Like
I met
that
her.
would have been a good mix-up
That would've
matchup.
been-
I met her in person.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that's right. You were in Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Yep. She was in my scene.
That's right. That's super cool.
She
I
was
didn't know you got
pretty
to meet her.
Yeah.
Said she's pretty cool.
cool. Yeah, she was pretty cool. She was nice.
Jen, see Blair Witch Project. I almost walked out of it
Yeah.
because I was nauseous.
Yeah.
The motion shaky cam was really rough.
They came out with a Blair Witch video game that just came out a few days ago.
What?
Isn't it called The Forest?
No.
No, the Blair
called
Witch.
Blair Witch.
They're just called the Blair Witch.
Yeah,
I bet that's
I'm
fun.
actually really
Horror.
interested in seeing someone play that.
I could see that being pretty
DJ's
good.
really
It-
interested in seeing me play that.
It's
Honestly,
honestly,
see
it's
that
like
on
a
his
group-
face.
Like either of you guys play Resident Evil 7. What is it? Or 6?
Yeah.
So it's basically,
First
are,
person one.
are you and Flo, like
Seven's
Brandon and
the
Flo
first
just gonna
person
play
one.
it together, and then we film that?
I mean,
That's
you
do
what
a
I
live
want to
stream.
see.
you want to watch me like just freak out.
That's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Like-
No.
I don't know if anyone's ever watched like Tio, but when he plays scary games, it's absolutely hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
If any of you ever played Until Dawn,
Nope.
the new one that just came out, Man of Medan, is not good. So don't bother.
Isn't that the one like on the ship or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a story-based choice-based story game.
Swede Dr. Plastic says, morning, guys. Good morning. We only have a couple minutes left before we have to wrap up for the night, though. Chronic Toast says, the best movie doesn't match the book is Starship Troopers.
Yeah, boy, there's a
Pretty
really
solid.
interesting. Look up a video on
Starship
YouTube
Troopers is
called "The
terribly
Politics
amazing.
of Starship Troopers," and it's actually kind of fascinating because they go over, like, visually, it looks like a fascist movie. But when you actually, like, if you just, even within the movie, not just the book, but even if you listen to what they say in the movie, you're like, oh, well, yeah, this isn't fascism at all. But it looks like it.
Uh-huh.
And so everybody just thinks it is because it just visually has the aesthetic. And it's like, it's really telling.
Well, have
Because
you
most
ever-
people, what percentage of people walk out of it thinking a thing just because it looked like a thing and that wasn't the actual content of it. And so, I don't know, it's kind of neat.
No, it relates to those like attention tests that you take,
You know?
where you're supposed to read a word and it'll be of a color,
Oh,
like
yeah,
red,
yeah.
blue, but the color of the word will be something different. Your brain always wants to say the color it's seeing, not
Yeah.
what you're visually reading, because you have to think more analytically. You can train it, but it is, I think you have to be paying more attention than you naturally would. And so some people may well, but if you're talking about an aesthetic that
Yeah, just a
strongly
visual
over
aesthetic. Yeah.
over content, you'll see the aesthetic over the content in a lot of cases.
Well, like, yeah, like most people will. I don't know, I just found that kind of fascinating. It's kind of an interesting video.
Ryan, well, hello. I haven't seen you in a minute. My goodness. Hope you're doing well. Too bad we're about to sign off. But anyway.
No, you're supposed to say, oh, Ryan's here. All right, well, good night, everyone.
I'll add it to my list. Starship Troopers CGI holds up surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and like when it came out, I just remember watching it and just going like, this is Imperial Guard versus Tyranids. That's all this movie is. Like, this is great.
Also a great clip in there about why it's important to wear helmets.
Yes.
Because it totally plays on, and I think it was commented on in a
Because you
previous
don't get your brain
stream,
sucked out.
or just blown off in
Oh.
practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, you watch other war movies and people will take their helmet off and you're like, what are you doing?
Well, they'll take the bullet and they'll take their helmet off to look at it. You're like,
No, I saw Enemy at the Gates. You don't do that.
Saving Private Ryan. Like every war movie. Yeah, no, it's that one thing where you're like, God, that probably happened like many times IRL because.
Johnny or JW, I actually did a film study for the cinematography. Frame by frame graphics were stupid good, even today. I believe referring back to Starship Troopers.
Yeah. I agree.
I love it. Very good. Shared nerddom. Every hobbyist needs this. Thanks for sharing. Thank you for hanging out. It's super awesome. It's nice to have company, be able to chat, kind of distract yourself, get some work done, distract yourself some more, watch DJ just constantly make noise with his paints.
I'll pretend like I did something here tonight.
I mean, you hung out.
Very true.
You participated some
No,
words.
I think you kept decorating the round table.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
There
I
you
have
go.
my first member of Kill Team ready to be glued. And then he'll be painted.
How many models are going to be in your kill team list?
I have no idea. I know I want 3 Pathfinders with rail rifles. And then after that, I think I have everything I need.
Do you have the
already.
books? Do you have the stuff?
I have the core rule book, but not the Elites one.
Mm,
Oh, that's fine. I have it.
you just bought
Check
the
it out.
elites?
Mhm.
Yeah. But then there's another one too with characters or something like
Commanders.
that. And
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Nice. Well, I think we are probably going to go ahead and end here. So, any progress you guys want to show off on your minis? Dylan? You did a good job with
I got
your
a leg.
there. He
Yeah.
has a leg.
There we go. It's getting legged. Here, I just show it.
Okay.
Probably up here.
That poor
That's about it.
Pathfinder. He looks so tiny compared to everything else.
Little bitty. No, that little skeleton climbing out of the ground, he's smaller.
Oh, he's so cute. I'm so excited to paint the rest of my support card. I love my skelly mans.
I got
So,
1.5
yeah, I-
guys.
Did that Pathfinder mostly. He's not done at all.
They're going based off of what that's
Yeah.
the color scheme.
I'm,
Yeah, and a few-
I'm figuring out the color scheme that he had someone else do. So
Yes, this is a test model,
I see. I
like
see.
every other model I've ever done.
Well, my Khadoran dude is looking amazing and gaudy in all his glory. Got the black wash just on the gold, so it filled out the filigree and kept the
Just had to
areas clean.
sneak that in one more time.
Turn it into a drinking game.
Johnny Kapow, this channel is so cool. It is.
It's a pretty cool
It's
channel.
pretty amazing.
It's the kind of channel you just want to subscribe to instantly.
Kind of channel you might leave a like on a video, like this one.
Good night, Ryan. One of these days we should hang out again, if you still live here. Hopefully.
like you.
I don't know where people are anymore, ever. I've had my brothers move before. I'm like, you moved? Anyway, my girlfriend and I just started collecting war games and minis. Our new hobby is painting.
Ooh.
Killer awesome stuff. That's a good place to start. Alfonso has a kill team belt. He just needs to paint them. So, that happens. Leg day. Alright. We're doing this.
Oh, it's time for Miranda to get back in the queue.
It's true. I'm starting to WAP. Oh, sorry. Good night, all. You're the best.
No.
Bye.
Good night.